Greetings. Well, we gotta give it up to Trump. Even though it's probably a trap, we gotta give it up to Trump. They're currently exposing UFO secrets, and it's not really so much that they're setting a trap. I think they realize that the Earth Angel is the trap, and that's fine. That's fine. However, yeah, there's really nowhere for the Capricorn devil to hide that was trying to plan the Earth Angel's death, ladies. It's just what it is. I can't do anything about that, especially not with the White House exposing UFO secrets currently live right now. It's just what it is. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. I see Independence Day coming along with Judgment Day. Maybe July the 4th. Maybe July the 4th. That was your Scorpio boogeyman's favorite movie. He did. He really. They talk about starseeds' lives play out like movies, and that's what it is. It's what it is. Now Tarot's starting to see why everything played out the way it did. It's all about divine timing. All about divine timing. However, yeah, I mean, if the Capricorn devil was worried about trying to make the Earth Angel fight for what was already theirs, well, now we have UFOs. We have UFOs at the White House. they'll be fighting the Earth Angel's battles for him. It's just what it is. I can't do anything about that. Hey, what's that in the sky? Who knows? Who knows? It's just what it is. Oh, it's a bug. It's just a bug. However, no. See, all the UFOs are at the White House right now, so it's what it is. I'm sure we have to give kudos to Mr. Gemini Love. It's just what it is, because you ladies said that someone would be speaking some truths, and kudos to Donald Trump for finally stepping up. Now, I do have an issue about Greys, because you see, when they're talking about opening portals and what they're trying to do, Aleister Crowley did that, which caused a lot of the difficulty that happened at Area 51. So, knowing that information, and it's just what it is. I can't do anything about opium addicts opening up portals to the other side. Now, Chris Bledsoe and his issues with the supernatural, with UFOs, aliens, it was more of a spiritual nature. So, due to the fact that they came up against a spiritual individual dealing with universal life force energy, it's just what it is. Keep your eye on the skies. Keep your eye on the skies. And I would say, if the White House has an issue with UFOs right now, yeah, there's just nowhere for the Capricorn devil to hide. It's just what it is. I mean, that was the entire mission, was to come and find the devil and just, forgive him, let him go. That was the whole thing about Archangel Michael, was, being a redeemer of his karma. He did slay the dragon. So I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about the old outdated belief system that they're now starting to tell the truth about. It's just what it is. Kudos to Mr. Gemini Love. That's what it is. It looks like they knew they were in the cards, huh? And when you ladies talk about a high-profile government official that was watching behind the scenes, it's just what it is. Everything happens in divine right time, and, with groups being consistently warned to leave the star seed alone, what do you expect? I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. Now, my question is with the paintings that I found that represent divine judgment, those would go a lot. Those would go. I mean, all you have to do is Google divine judgment, which is the energy that's in the cards. And it has a Christ conscious individual covered in light that triggers their demons. And I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. However, I do know that what comes around goes around is the easiest way, especially with the White House live right now doing UFO disclosure. It's just what it is. Perfect for the 4th of July. Perfect for the 4th of July. However, yes, definitely expect the unexpected. It's what it is. I don't know if it's going to, maybe UFOs will come and beam up the Capricorn devil. Who knows? Just beam them right up and who knows? who knows what's going to happen. Beautiful thing. However, I posted it in the community page, went ahead and posted it on Facebook. That way, everybody can be up to speed. That's and I only listened to like 2 seconds. I'm going to go back and listen some more. But he said it. He doesn't know if the frequency is changing. So now that they're more visible, and so what it is, the veil is becoming thinner. It's what Dolores Cannon taught us. Think about a fan spinning, and then it spins real fast. The blades disappear. So it's what it is. They're able to raise their frequency and pop in and out of your reality. That's what it is. This is my favorite thing about Terence McKenna INFJ. And I've held on to this story for quite some time. Let's get the third eye on the situation. Terence McKenna INFJ had a connection to if you've never heard Terence McKenna's Lizard Land, it's pretty good. I've hung out with reptilians before, so it's what it is. Shaman Napoleon and Lyra Ray, the Princess of Pleiades. That's what it is. Shaman Napoleon's stories about the reptilians was pretty cool. That's what it is. Anyway, that's another story for another time. Terence McKenna had a brother, Dennis McKenna, and I don't know the whole story. You can go do your research, but it was basically like, Dennis McKenna had a real job, and he had a bunch of, hey, don't do that. And he had a bunch of friends that, they just didn't accept Terence. Terence was a very strange INFJ. Yeah, they had someone one time ask Terence if he was schizophrenic, and he was an esoteric genius, a botanist and a herbologist. And an esoteric genius. He said, well, I would have to be schizophrenic because I'm able to process information that you can't even perceive. So, pretty good comeback for anything. But he did have a very reckless belief in the use of psychedelics. Anyway, he took his brother Dennis. Out into the middle of the desert with all of his buddies from, whatever 9 to 5er they've stuck to. That's what it is. I mean, Terence McKenna traveled around and did talks all over the place about DMT and mushrooms. And that's what it is. Terence McKenna, he was responsible for the Magic Mushroom Homegrower's Guide. And what he did was he made this pamphlet that was 100% legal and was able to throw it in. It wasn't the Sears catalog. It was like the sales ads you get in the Sunday paper. He was able to get a deal to where he went out to, he said at one time his Magic Mushroom Homegrower's Guide was on every coffee table in every home that got a newspaper during the 70s. Anyway, that's beside the point. Terence was able to take Dennis and them into the desert, and he dosed his brother and several friends to where they were able to raise their frequency. And Terence called in whatever he had a connection to, the Fae, elves, what is machine elves. That was his big thing, was he had a connection to machine elves. Now, with astral sight, you're able to see all kinds of unexplainable spiritual phenomenon. That's that gift of sight that all of tarot talks about the earth angel possessing. So, it's just what it is. However, currently you're going to have triggered demons possessed by demonic energy. So, I can't do anything about that. Terence does a huge lecture on magic and the ramifications of karma and things of that nature. Something I'm pretty well aware of, so that's why I didn't have many worries. However, no, I mean, the devil and the hate train and, everyone that was worried about being under judgment will be happy to know that the White House is now currently disclosing their UFO information because they know time's up. They know time is up. It's time to speak the truth. That's what it is. I can't do anything about that. However, that is nifty that you girls have all of that energy in the cards of a Capricorn devil trying to plan an Earth Angel's demise with a copycat, because they can't stand the Earth Angel, but yet they want to be the Earth Angel. And they're like, oh, we stole this, so we're better than you. And it's what it is. That will by far be the most embarrassing shit that they'll never be able to live down. And that's absolutely why they're losing their minds. Because, I mean, not only is every tarot reader on the planet calling them out, but now you have the White House. Now you have the White House disclosing UFO information. It's not UAP cover-up info anymore. No, no, no. They're realizing that this is the time to speak your truth, to get one with whatever's coming. And I would say, I mean, the 4th of July, that revolved around Independence Day. And, I mean, it's what it is. shout out to Noah. You know, Noah sending me UAP footage. It's just what it is. And that's, I mean, you already got a bunch of weird shit going on in West Virginia and the Virginia region. So it's what it is. However, Langley Air Force Base and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is where your Scorpio Boogeyman's plane is on display. A C-123 Fairchild. Patches was the nickname. That plane had over 1,000 plus bullet holes in it. They called it patches because they had to patch the outside and the inside of every hole that went through that plane. That's what it is. Pretty neat for the plane to have thousands of holes in it and not one casualty. Not one casualty. Sounded like they had some boogeyman protection on the plane with them. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's just what it is. I can't do anything about that powerful spiritual protection that every tarot reader on the planet is talking about Pisces bloodline possesses. So it's what it is. I can't do anything about that. However, yeah, kudos to Mr. Trump for disclosing the truth live. Currently, that shit is live right now on YouTube. It's just what it is. Just what it is. Kudos to him. You know, and that's amazing that you ladies were. And that's the thing, is if you were accurate about a high-level government official finally coming forward to speak the truth in this matter, it's only going to be a domino effect coming down with, you know, local county fucks taking bribes, things of that nature. It's just what it is. I mean, they're creating a domino effect too. It's like they tell the big truth, and then bloop, 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 the hate train just fucking rockets down. Instead of rockets going up, it'll just be rocket shit rolls downhill. That's what it is. Anyway. I saw I didn't even have to watch the reading because I knew what she was talking about. She's like, Pisces, this shit is embarrassing. What they did to you happened to them. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's what we told you. What comes around goes around. What you do to another is what would happen to yourself. It just takes time, right? When they throw their energy, it's a ripple effect, the ebbs and the flows. They don't understand how frequency and energy works. That's why they're steadily firing away. It's freaking, you have to go out to the lake. Go out to the lake, take a pebble, go to a pool, throw a rock out into the middle, and then watch all the ebbs and the flows come back towards you. That's how energy works. So that's what it is. I mean, freaking, you don't know that karma is coming back on you, and it takes a little while. And if you've been sitting there, you know, machine gun firing away at that energy, what kind of karma do you expect to come back to you? That's what it is. I can't do anything about that. However, no, I'm gonna go and watch live footage right now from the White House about UFO disclosure. And it's what it is. However, keep in mind, we already knew that most of the Area 51 issues were due to magic backfire. Think about that. That was back in the days of Aleister Crowley, and they told you it was just occult knowledge that he opened a portal and allowed a gray to come through it. That's what it is. And now you got starseeds all over the planet. Imagine that. Imagine that. It's just what it is. Expect the unexpected, Pisces. It just gets better from here. Shit rolls downhill to the devil from here. It's just what it is. Can't do anything about that. Namaste.